Future Diary is back with a twist. In Season 1, we witnessed Mai and Takuto's story unfold that filled our hearts with rainbows and butterflies. It's good to know that they're still together. Season 2 introduces us to something much more complicated, a love triangle. We meet a bartender, Aki, and a medical student, Koyo, vying to win the heart of Moka, a 23-year-old office worker. With the latest twist being introduced for Season 2, the biggest questions in our minds are, is this too cruel for our characters, and does it provide the same level of tug-at-your-heartstrings feeling we got from Season 1? What's up, guys? We're talking about Future Diary, and you know, the first time we watched this show, we thought it was an interesting premise. Everything is scripted for them, and it puts all of the contestants through this kind of drama that you only see in a typical manga or novel or even like an anime. And it's back, but the twist, of course, as we mentioned, is that it's a love triangle. So there's two people, two guys, Aki and Koyo, and there's Moka, who has to choose between the two guys.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of fun. It was quirky, like the first couple of episodes, especially the first episode where Moka had to run back and forth on that bridge.
That was so cruel.
Every time the bell rang, I was just like, what is going on? What is happening? And like, to pose our question in the intro of this video was like, does it provide the same level of tug at your heartstrings emotions? And like for me, I think it's kind of slowly getting there, but
I think it is, yeah.
But I can't stop and think about like Takuto's and Mai's like romance and how that was slowly built up, where this one felt a little bit rushed.
I think that we are just in the beginnings of it. I mean, episode 2 or 3 was like then the romance has begun.
Yeah.
And I think it has the same level, and it even kind of takes it up a notch, because when they receive their diary and they have to deal with doing something that is completely out of character, then it adds to the drama where the other person can see this happening.
Yeah.
And so we get to a point where they're on a vacation, and Aki has to play the supporting role and completely encourage the romance between Moka and Koyo. And he sits there and he has to watch them like have fun, laugh together.
That is cruel.
And she has to kiss him on the cheek. And it is cruel, but it's creating this drama that is on another level than if they were just forced to be separated like Takuto and Mai.
Yeah, maybe I'm just too stuck on not accepting like the way the diary is being presented. Like I appreciate the premise. I appreciate the way that they're laying out in front of us. But I'm still stuck on this being like really cruel. It's like it's just a really cruel story, forcing Aki to be like Cupid's arrow or some sort. He had to wear that bracelet where he has admitted that he has fallen for her already, and you can see the sadness and like the torture in his face while he's going through all of that. And I'm just like, man, that is crazy.
We're not strangers to this though, because the diary told Mai to give him the cold shoulder and not reciprocate his feelings.
I know, but it was only the two of them.
I know, but still, it's still cruel. The diary will tell them to do things, and I think the diary, most of all, outside of trying to emulate this kind of manga, novel, anime situations, is there to kind of create these scenarios in which you would go through these events in a real relationship, even though it's kind of expedited in this manner, you know, where you would see them with someone else and it's not really official and you get jealous and then you have to reconcile with your feelings, like her having to kiss and hold hands and then having to ask them for their feelings right then and there. A lot of this stuff is very out of character especially for the culture of Japan, where it's all about the confession. And, you know, she has to do all of this stuff. And then these guys also have to do things that, you know, they don't want to. He doesn't want to lose the go-kart race. And you
know, it was so obvious. Like, he was just like, let me spin out. Like, you know, I feel bad for Ko as well, because he seems so innocent. He's so grounded. Like, he doesn't seem like the type that would be very overconfident and would go out of his way to kind of like win something. You know, he's kind of laid back and kind of like observes at a distance, almost kind of being very naive and just kind of blasé, or like
he is the youngest.
not having the full awareness of what's happening, right? But like Aki is kind of the opposite. He's like happy-go-lucky, got full confidence, and he will go for it. And that leads us into like the eternal farewell, which is part 2, which is probably going to be already on by the time you're watching this video. But like I don't know what that's all about. Like, I'm sure they going on this trip to an island, and something is gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, they hinted at it at the diary that she receives. One of them is going to leave, which means that it's going to be a couple going into part 2. And I think this is what you were hinting at in terms of like, you know, it not having the same impact as season 1, because I think after a decision is made, I don't know who makes the decisions, not even the commenters.
I think it's Moka.
I mean, the commenters were like, I hope Moka's the one that makes the decision, but if the diary makes that decision, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna do like a forced separation like Mai and Takuto? And then afterwards they're going to give them diaries like, okay, you guys are back together again? Is it like a forced separation? Or are they gonna let Moka, you know, decide for herself, and then afterwards when she decides, then the rest of the series is just them?
Oh man, like I guess the intrigue factor of this season is kind of like up there, but I'm still kind of like, man, like can you really do this to these people?
I mean, that they signed up.
That's
for
the point of it, right? That's the point of it. Oh my gosh, it's so cruel. But I'm still watching it. Like I'm dying to know. I'm dying to find out what happens next.
Final question before we wrap up this first impressions of Future Diary Part 1. Who exactly are you rooting for?
I think I'm rooting for Aki. Aki, like because probably what happened to him was like having to support his role being that way. I mean, she held his hand, right?
Yes.
So she did it in a way where it was like, oh, I just had to decide, and that is kind of like indicative of where her feelings were moving towards. And then like he had to do this, and it was just like so sad to see him go through that. And it's like, you know what, Ko, you're a nice guy, but like you're not the guy.
No, I mean, I don't think so either. I think, you know, a lot of the things that she had to do with Ko came very easy to her, even though she was shy about it.
Right.
And that stuff comes easy to you when it's not really consequential.
Yeah.
You know, like giving him a kiss on the cheek after the piano. She just got up and did it. It's like, yeah, okay. And I had to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and so when it came to asking Aki, how do you feel about me? She like was like wiggling her feet. Like,
oh yeah, that was so cute. Like I guess you could say that she had more meaningful interactions with Aki than Ko. Like it just kind of felt like they were just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Most of the things that the diary told her to do with Aki, she had to kind of like, she had an inner turmoil in her head. Her heart was pounding. Yeah. Like she had to choose, but like she like.
Yeah, I think Aki's gonna win this one.
And then there came their dates, especially when they went on the dates together, all 3 of them. And I don't know whether it was the editing or not, but Moka, every time there was an interaction, like automatically looked to Aki for like affirmation. Like she got scared, she looked at Aki, and like it seemed like Koyo during the trio dates was like a third wheel at this point, before Aki was forced, you know, to propel them.
Yeah, I mean, like I think she probably felt a more connection with Aki, like, you know, preventing her from getting hit by a car, or like being very protective of her, like knowing or like just suggesting that we would go on his date to go make candles, like, and she loves candles. So those little things, like little gestures, are like are notably going to win the heart.
But let us know in the comment section below who you're rooting for and why that's Aki. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more Asian entertainment and K-pop reactions. Hit the bell icon to turn on notifications. But as always, this is where we're watching this Sunday. We'll see you guys next time.